man alive, Joaquin Phoenix, really bounces up and down the weight spectrum. So cameras have officially started on Joker Folie Deux. This is a film which a lot of people are not massively looking forward to because it is reportedly a musical. Now, I actually don't have an issue with that at all. I think this is one of those things where you look at it and you go, for me personally, I look at it and go, hey, you know what? Could be interesting. I have faith in Todd Phillips. I think he did absolutely stellar work on the first one. A film which a lot of people weren't happy about. Joaquin Phoenix. A lot of people weren't happy about Joaquin Phoenix. Lo and behold, that film came out. I love that film. It has its detractors. Unequivocally, absolutely. But I really enjoyed that film. I think it was the only film I watched that year twice in the theatre. So I'm really looking forward to this. And we've now got our first look at Joaquin Phoenix. And like I say, boy oh boy does he go up and down the weight. Now this isn't a dig on him. This is more praising him. You know, this is not necessarily a method actor, but this is someone that really does a lot for his craft. Whereas more and more lately we're getting people complain about, you know, directors and casting agents telling them that they need to lose weight or asking about their weight. Joaquin Phoenix just gets on with it. You do have to change your body to play certain characters or get into a certain tone for a film. And I think this needs to be praised, you know. Like I said, especially when someone is just getting on with it. I mean, we recently had Bryce Dallas Howard commenting on the weight for Jurassic World and things like that. It's like, yeah, it's important. Characters do have to meet a certain criteria. So like I said, production has officially begun on Joker Folie Deux. And Todd Phillips has been shared an image. And this is in Arkham Asylum. Interesting stuff. Now, the Madman obviously was placed in Arkham Asylum at the end of the other film, the first film, as you know, he murdered Murray, the talk show host, and inspired Gotham City's working class to rise up against their apparent oppressors. So this will be a really interesting turn of events to see exactly where they go with this movie. I cannot wait. However, while the white on Arthur's face is no doubt meant to evoke memories of his alter ego Joker, the prisoner is simply receiving a shave in his dark and depressing new surroundings. So this is the image. And again, you can see, like, they've really, it's almost like he's been picking at his skin. You know, sort of like pockmarked or like an addict. If you've ever seen any sort of heroin addicts and smackheads and things like this, you know, they start to pick at their flesh, whether they're on a high or cold turkey. It's that sort of pockmarked addict nature to it all. I mean, it's really, it's an evocative image. It looks really, really compelling. I mean, the cinematography itself, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, stunning. So it'll be interesting to see how this all sort of turns out. Now, we have not seen Lady Gaga yet as Harley Quinn, but we will see her soon, I'm sure. And we still don't know if she's a fellow inmate or a doctor at this point, so that'll be interesting. But the singer's presence itself is thought to be key in the sequel that will be, or at least feature, big musical numbers. And music was a big part of the first one. I think people forget this because a lot of people simply, they sort of shit all over this because they're like, oh, musical, whatever. Now, it's not been confirmed that this is a straight up musical, but we know that there are heavy musical elements. And the first one had heavy musical elements, from the dancing scene to the stairs, to the, you know, Bring in the Clown song. There was a lot of musical sort of iconography popping up in this film throughout. Now, Zazie Beetz returns as Sophie Dumond in Joker Folie Deux, while Brendan Gleeson, Catherine Keener, and Jacob Lofland have also recently joined the cast. So they're pretty late additions. Unsurprisingly, the movie is shrouded in secrecy. We know that. And it could be a while before we get a better idea of what to expect from this one. Now, again, the other interesting element about this is Joker Folie Deux is actually one of the only, or the only, DC movie to have received the green light after David Zaslav took over. David Zaslav, being a businessman, hopefully will reject a whole bunch of the sort of woke nonsense and goes, okay, well, what made money? Oh yeah, Joker made money. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, why haven't we done? We haven't done the. There's no sequel. Greenlight it now. And this is the only movie itself to have that green light, and it predated the formation of DC Studios and obviously James Gunn overseeing it. And Todd Phillips was at one point thought to be in the running to be essentially have the job that James Gunn and Peter Safran has. So it's interesting stuff. This will still more than likely fall under Peter Safran and James Gunn in terms of their management, but this is entirely separate to all of that. Now, it's the only movie based on DC Comics characters currently heading our way in 2024. It's the only one. However, the expectation from the start has been that this and the Batman franchise would remain separate. And then, of course, separate to each other, but then separate to DCU as well. Now, Joker actually became the first R-rated movie ever to gross over $1 billion at the worldwide box office. You would be incredibly stupid not to greenlight a sequel here. Incredibly stupid. It earned 12 Oscar nominations. Just absolutely outrageously good. And again, David Zaslav, Todd Phillips, etc., they're not going to be sitting there going, yeah, of course, like we must change everything here, embrace the comics, do this, do that. No, they're going to go, Todd, what you did was really, really good, successful. Can we just repeat some of that at least and develop a little bit more? Which is, to me, seemingly what they're doing with this being a musical number. And what a great image. There's a lot going on here. There is an awful lot. Like I said, that sort of pockmark, sort of pitting. I mean, you can see he's almost like a broken man. Sort of death stare. Interesting. I can't wait for this film. I can't wait for this film. I know I'm late on this. I do apologise, ladies and gents, but just life gets in the way sometimes. Leave your thoughts down below. Take care.